Okay guys, here we are with part 3 of the emergency car preparedness kit. Basically in this installment we're going to go over the contents of the clothing module and the container slash food module. You may notice that these kind of echo a little bit the 5 C's of survivability, Dave Canterbury's 5 C's. The exception being cutting tool. You're not going to see any cutting tools in any of these. And you know, when I'm allowed to, I will have an EDC blade with me. I may have, you know, this kit. I may have the Bushcraft Triflex. But you know, in general, on day to day, like I said, I'm not allowed to carry anything that could be construed as a weapon with me. So those scissors might in the last kit, but that'd be a little bit far-fetched. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break into one of these ones and we're going to take a look. So stick with me, guys. Okay, so here are the contents. This one isn't quite as exciting as the other ones. It's basically a clothing kit is basically what you'd expect to see in here. And I've been thinking about, I think I might move the toiletry kit over to this actually, because I think it actually belongs in here more than in the other one. Basically, we got some stuff rolled up here. We got a couple of pairs of socks, and these little packed up. These are self-packing. One of these this is a pair of pants, nylon like camp pants, and this is kind of a rain jacket, just a real cheap, not really breathable, but it's just a rain jacket. And lo and behold, another like winter cap. These things are good to have any time of the year, guys. So I don't think I'm going to be taking these out. I might consolidate them, but you know, also part of that is, you know, when I think to look for something, where am I going to think to look for it? You know, the other ones, the wool one in the cover. You know, the idea there is, okay, I'm bundling up in the sleeping bag. This, you know, okay, well, I need a hat to walk around. Where do I find a hat? Now, another thing I should point out is, as far as a sort of EDC, okay, you know, I did a video showing different bits of tools and, you know, lighter and knife and stuff like that, which is what most people think of as the EDC. In cold weather, though, your clothing, what you carry as far as your clothing is an important kind of thing. And typically I'm wearing an M65 jacket. I don't have an actual issue one. I have an alpha one, which if you're going to buy a Chinese one, buy a good Chinese one, and that's what the alpha ones are. As far as I've had it for a couple of years now, and it's still, you know, when I wash it, it comes out looking brand new, and I haven't had any issues with it. So I have that. I've got one of those wool buffs that's in the one pocket, and the other pocket I have a pair of gloves and one of those German, I don't know, tanker hats or whatever. The hats with the thing that comes down under your chin, okay, covers your ears. So that's what I'm normally carrying. So this is kind of extraneous, you know. In the summertime, I probably won't be carrying that M65 jacket and those other things. So that's definitely something where the hats and stuff in this kit will come in handy. But likely in that scenario, I'm only going to need that at nighttime. Okay, or when the temperature dips. Okay, another thing here, this is just like a hoodie. Okay, what I did is I went down to the thrift store when I was putting a bunch of kits together, and I went in there and I think I got 3 you know, pretty decent quality sweatshirts. That, you know, I was looking for hoodies, and I got 3 of them for less than $10. I have no idea what this contracting company is, but it was sitting there in the thrift store, and I picked it up. Okay, so if you combine this with the rain jacket, you can make kind of a light-duty parka kind of situation. It's not really as good as a winter jacket, but it's a hell of a lot better than nothing. Okay, and you know, the term "better than nothing" is used in a lot of circles, but you know, it's surprising how many people will go out into the world and not have a jacket. You know, and as long as their car and everything that they're doing, as long as the stars are all aligned and everything goes according to plan, everything's fine. The minute they get into trouble, they realize that they're wearing a dress shirt and a tie, and they have no jacket because they weren't planning on bringing the jacket into them at their destination. So, or they don't like the way the jacket looks, you know. So, being able to put something together is good. Okay. Right here, I got some wool glove liners, and then a couple kinds of work gloves. None of these are like super high-speed work gloves. They're kind of cheapo work gloves, but you know, these ones have obviously been used, and these ones have obviously not been used. But you know, I picked them up for a couple bucks, and you know, once again, better than nothing. Then right here, these two items we got. I've got a pair of safety goggles that'll fit over my prescription glasses that I wear, and some of these dust masks. Rationale here, elsewhere in the car, in that like sub compartment above the spare tire and under the cargo area, I've got some tools, and one of them is one of those dead-on pry bar hammer things. You know, if there was ever a scenario, you know, if I ended up somewhere, if there had been some kind of if there had been a tornado or a windstorm or a tree fell on a house, you know, and I was in a position where I was there, you know, I'm by no means a first responder, but, you know, I would like to be able to help out if I could in a situation like that. You know, it's possible that I need to add a hard hat. I think that would kind of round it out, kind of like a civilian response, you know, to help you kind of help out in a disaster scenario. To give yourself a little bit of preparation, some work gloves, a hard hat, maybe some dust masks, and something to keep stuff out of your eyes, you know, and a head on your shoulders. You know, you could probably do a fair amount of good if you roll up on a scene, you know, ascertain that you're not dealing with, you know, live electric or anything like that, you know, and you can go in and help somebody, you know, who knows how long that they have, you know. So that was part of the rationale for some of those items, okay? And as you see, there's a bunch of different scenarios that I was considering, and these kits are not really designed to be humped around like a you know, a rucksack or a big like bug out bag. It's like an emergency preparedness kit in the car. And with that Kelty Red Wing that I have, I could make a bug out bag, okay? But I could also do other stuff, you know? And we've already seen one first aid kit, okay? And there's at least two more that we're going to see here. And they're in different layers of the kit. And there's obviously one of them that would be the first one that I would grab. You know, and I used it just the other day. You know, one of my coworkers somehow managed to cut herself in the car. And boom, here's Band-Aids right here, you know, and that might not be a big deal, but I like to be prepared for stuff like that. She probably wasn't going to bleed out in my car, it was just a little cut. But, you know, you got various different levels of capability. So, we're basically through this now. I'm going to go ahead and pull out the other kit. Okay, guys, yeah, while I was away, I took that toiletry kit and I put it in with the clothes. It actually worked out better that way. The kits are pretty well stuffed, but some of them are more stuffed than others, and that allowed me to even it out a little bit by moving that into the other bag that had a little bit less in it. So here we go. This is the food module, okay? And as you can see, there's some food in there. Okay, it's a lot of it is some snacky stuff. I've got, you know, your beef jerky, you know, and a bunch of trail mix, you know, situation, you know, maybe I wanted a snack, you know, if I was in an emergency situation waiting for my car to get towed and I was hungry, I could just grab some of that. Hard candy basically never goes bad. It's a good little morale booster, you know. If I want to make a more involved meal, you know, I have the capability with these Mountain House meals. I got 3 of those, you know, and it's good to have some around. Like if you find yourself up at the camp and, you know, you're going to have a campfire, but you want to hop in the car and drive down to the store, you know, to get something to grill or something like that. You know, I have the capability basically to make it here. Okay, what we got is the main cook kit canteen type item is this British BCB system. If you look on the other video that I have up about minimalist cooking options, or minimalist water boiling options, I'm not sure how I labeled it. This is in there, and you can kind of see the whole kit spread out. It is designed to run on either fuel tablets or alcohol, and not surprisingly, there is a fair amount of both. Okay, and there is one of these Scotch-Brite pre-soaped sponges, so I could do a little cleaning up when I was done. If I was going to have to hike away from my car, you know, as I said in that other video, the weakness I think of this system is it kind of sucks as a canteen, you know. So, you know, like I said, there's bound to be water bottles floating around my car, but I also have these two East German canteens, which have never been used and don't have any water in them, but could be easily filled out of a 5-gallon jug. Okay, all three of them could be filled up, and I could move and have some water to carry with me. These hold, I think, 24, 28 ounces. Sportsman's Guide said they were quart size, and they're definitely not quart size. It's either one of those two, 24 or 28 ounces. Plus, they have the metal cup, which is a nice little add-on for hot drinks. Now, the BCB cooker has an excellent plastic cup that could be used for, you know, hot drinks. And speaking of hot drinks, which is another rationale of having a cooking kit, is that, you know, if I was cold and I wanted to regulate my core body temperature, they tell you to drink hot liquids. Now, you could just boil, you know, heat up some water and just drink hot water. And in some ways that might be better as far as hydration goes. But as far as morale goes, having a way to make tea, cocoa, or coffee is a real plus. Okay, right here we have this. This is a look at this mixture that I make of sugar and creamer and instant freeze-dried coffee. And this stuff basically lasts forever. I've had some get hard on me before, and I just, you know, bang it out. This is a plastic jar, so I could, you know, kind of bang it a little bit and pulverize it. Plus, there's one of these here loose, and I'm sure there's another one in there. These are the Walmart stainless steel spoons. You know, I think that's an investment of like 30 cents there between those two. And also, if I was with other people and I was maybe boiling up some Mountain House meals, you know, and we want multiple people to eat, these are good little things. I get them at the grocery store. You know, if I buy from the carry-out cafe, I'll grab a couple of them, you know. So this represents like 4 times I bought carry-out cafe stuff. Okay, so don't think I'm just like snarfing the stuff in my pocket. I am actually buying stuff from the store, and they don't know that I'm not feeding somebody else with it, so I don't consider it to be quite that bad. But these are great. They've got, you know, fork, knife, spoon, a napkin, and some salt and pepper packets in there. That is pretty much it. I do have one of these light my fire, little fire stick things. This is it's called a Grandpa's fire fork or something. This is a protective cover, this green thing, and then basically underneath it's like a steel prongs, and the idea is you would whittle a stick and then put this over and pinch it, and then tension would hold it on the stick. And you know, how many times are you out at the camp and the kids want to roast marshmallows or something like that? You could just use a stick. You could use this to easily, you know, roast hot dogs, you know, which is not quite so easy with a stick. I mean, it can be done, don't get me wrong, but I saw this thing, and it was a multi-pack. I picked some of them up, so I just threw one of them in here. There is one more thing that I want to grab that I meant to put in here. I'll be right back.